In this run-down part of town, you'd think I'd be testing something tough like a V8. But this is the Kia Picanto, and pound for pound, it's the best equipped small car on the market. It still has the longest warranty money can buy, at 7 years. So this is the little baby Kia Picanto. It is the smallest of the Kias that they make, so there isn't anything else other than this Picanto one. And I had to kind of, giggle at the size of the outside. I mean, the wheels look tiny compared to the rest of the car, but actually it's very striking to look at. But it has a trick up its sleeve. It is the biggest feeling car on the inside, and I'm going to show you. Because if I sit in here, in the driver's seat, you can see the seat is set for me easily. I can reach everything, clutch is fine. I'm 6'1". Now, this is a very small car, don't forget. Watch this. I'm 6'1". I've set the seat for me, and I still have room here. How did it do that? You'd imagine that they've done it by making the boot tiny. I mean, look at that. Little space between the back door and the brake light. But you know what? It's not tiny either. It's quite big. It's quite deep. For a car of its size, it's one of the biggest in class. Now, I've been tootling around all week with kids in the back of this. I have a car seat in there, as you can see, and another car seat sitting over there. So I'm going to put the car seat in and just show you how easy that is. Now, here we go. Failure to put a car seat in, part 1. You have to put the strap through the middle, pull it out the other side, then you click it into the seat belt, and you pull it tight and put it through the little strappy things. Bang, car seat in. That was in real time. That's the car seat fitted into one of the smallest cars on the market. Now, the range starts at 11,495, just a shade under 11,500. But that's not the one you need to go for. This is the one you need to go for. It's the EX model, and it's just about a little bit less than £1,000 more expensive. But for that, you get air conditioning, you get 4 electric windows, you get Bluetooth, voice control, proper voice control, I'll show you that later. You get MP3 player, you get aux connectors, you get the cable to connect your iPad to it. You get a lot of stuff. You get a lot of extras for your little €1,000. It is a 1 litre petrol. It is in tax band A, and it's incredibly economical. It really is. For a little tiny petrol thing, it's very economical, especially around town. Just sits there ticking over. It's a little 3-pot engine. So anyway, let's find out what it's like to drive it. So, the little Kia, like I say, is the smallest of what Kia make. Now, it is insanely easy to drive this car because the steering is so light. I mean, look at the turning circle. It's tiny. Watch this. Here we go. 1 full lock. Boom. You're going around in the size of a postage stamp. It'll turn in its own circle. It's so small and so easy to drive. Now, the engine puts out about 68 brake horsepower, which isn't much. I have to admit, 1 litre engine, very low horsepower. But it's a 3-cylinder, well, 3-pot if you want to call it that, which means it sounds deadly whenever you're driving. Once you get it up to speed, sounds deadly as you're driving along. But when you stick it into 5th gear, it's quiet as a mouse. Now, don't forget, this is a very, very small car, but it's very big inside. It's a bit kind of like a TARDIS. It really is. I don't know how they've got so much room. Well, I kind of do, they've moved the four corners to the edges of the car, so they're as far out really as wheels can get. Wheels encroach an awful lot on space inside the car, so if you move them away from the cabin, you get more room. But the thing is that they've set it up in such a way that it still feels like I'm in the middle of the car. The old Picanto was no great shakes to look at. It really wasn't. It was a bit bug eyes and things on it. But this new one has taken on the Peter Schreier tiger nose. Now, I still don't understand the tiger nose. There's a tiger out there in front somewhere, but you know, it's there in probably an imagination of a designer. As far as I can see, it looks a bit like a squashed Venga, and has kind of some of the similar aspects to it as a Sportage. So it's taken on a family, and that's on purpose in Kia. The methodology behind that is that Kia, when you're looking in your rear view mirror, you should be able to tell that you're driving with a Kia behind you. Now, this car has air conditioning, it has a CD player, it has an MP3 player, you can play an iPod, you get the cable, you can play your phone, music from your phone straight through the Bluetooth. How many other bits of equipment do you want? This height adjustable driver's seat, 4 electric windows, electrically adjustable mirrors that they fold electrically as well. It has power steering, it has enough room at a squash for 5 adults, but definitely enough room for 4 without any trouble. May I say that I warn everyone out there at the moment, and any other car manufacturer that makes a small car this size, this to me is the benchmark. This one now has become the benchmark to set all other little cars of this size too. I'm under the bridge here because I'm going to go out on a motorway in the little car and show you what it's really like. We're just coming onto the slip road, which is uphill. I'm in third, and it's getting louder. Well, it's getting louder now. "90 kilometers an hour, 4th gear, 90, 100, there's 100, there's 100. And 5th gear, 110. And here we have 120 kilometers an hour. See, keeping up with the fluence there. That's 120. Now, it's no louder in here than it was a minute ago. It's elevated that much. Now, the surface here is quite rough, mind you, on this part of the motorway, so I'd expect it from the Hankook tyres that are on this actually. Now, I'm currently using, at 120 kilometers an hour, in a 1 litre petrol, 5.8 litres per 100 kilometers. This is quite simply a brilliant car. And now you think of this car is just 12.5 grand, less than 12.5 grand, a lot less actually, a couple of €100 less than 12.5 grand. You think of that price and the equipment level that you're getting, plus you get a 7-year warranty. Now, it's limited to 100,000 kilometers. But in a little town car like this, if you drive it as you would drive a proper town car, you won't have a problem with 100,000 kilometers. That'll be perfect. It'll be more than enough. And in 7 years' time, if your child is 10-year-old now, they'll be 17 by the time the warranty actually runs out. Be getting ready to leave school. I'm just parking it. I'm going into the space arseways just to show you it's easy to straighten up and get it into the corner. It's absolutely brilliant. This car is brilliant. So this is my message to all of you. Watch out for Kia. Watch out for small cars in the future, because this is the future. This is little petrol cars doing what little petrol cars should do, which is be very economical, carry lots of people, and have lots of kit. Because this, the Kia Picanto, is brilliant.